Hi, it's Kevin here from Music in Leicester, and this is the 10th in our series of podcasts where we talk to the people from Leicester's wonderful music scene about what they've been getting up to and how the lockdown is affecting them as we're now 12 weeks in. In this week's podcast, I shall be speaking to young local rockers, Gallows High, but first, on the other end of the phone, virtual phone, well actually computer, I have promoter, ex-band member and all-round lovely guy, Mr. Jack Franklin. Good morning, Jack.
Hello, good morning, Kevin. Happy to be here. Thank you.
Excellent, and thank you very much for joining me today, on this lovely sunny day. Now, let's dig straight in. Of course, now you used to be front... Does it make you cringe when I talk about this? You used to be frontman in one of my favourite bands, Linear, but now you're promoter at the Soundhouse.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it makes me cringe. I'm happy that you were a big fan. It's nice to hear that people enjoyed what we do, because I think with music, especially with a band, I think it's important to be selfish. You got to enjoy what you do, right?
Yeah.
Not always tailored towards your crowd. So if you can enjoy what you do, and we loved what we did, exactly, and other people can love what we did as well, then
exactly.
That makes me happy. Okay,
but now you're lovely promoter at the lovely Soundhouse. So how did that come about? What made you want to be a promoter, Jack?
The Soundhouse was always working as a bartender during my DMU degree as a music tech student, and my boss at the time, Greg Paul, who was incredible, by the way. He's a really good promoter, inspiration.
Greg Paul, yes, I know Greg.
Yeah, he was great artist and very good at what he did as a promoter. When I kind of made friends with Greg and kind of watched what he did, and then eventually Greg kind of said, "Yo, I think you'd be good at my job," and then I started taking it seriously after that. It didn't really come into my mind that I'd move into that because I was still doing my degree,
right. So
it was kind of awesome for me to then be very near in the end of my degree. I think it was 2 or 3 months before the end, and then Greg kind of sprung that on me, and I was like, "Yo, I never even imagined that," and yeah, I'm definitely down for it. Chuck myself in, you've got to get in deep end.
Brilliant. I was just chatting to Ollie Petch in my last podcast, as saying with social media, it's easy to promote your gigs. So therefore, is it easy to get people into gigs, or is it hard work?
It is hard work. I think at the end of the day, it's not the same industry it was, say, circa 1990, maybe even 95. The scene changed, and I'm sure that's perfectly natural. Things change, cities change, economics changes, people change, but you've got to change with it, and you've got to be malleable, fluid per se. And when it comes to promotion, things have changed, like Ollie said, with the social media. Whether that's a positive thing or not, you're always trying to be on the cusp of what's new and what's best for getting your advertisement out there. But I think at the core of it, it's not hard, and a lot of work goes in by all sorts, the bands, the promoters, even Ollie is a sound engineer. It's not his job to promote a show, but he will, because he loves live music and etc. So yeah, I don't think it's easy, but I certainly think that a lot of people help us. People like yourself, Kevin. People like Ollie. Other bands coming down and supporting bands. It's not all about the general public. There's also a local music scene kind of.
Yeah, that's
public.
true.
Yeah, there's the two different types of groups.
Yeah.
So.
It's just we were chatting about Pie Bar the other day. The good thing about do you remember Pie Bar?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
Because the good thing about that is you didn't have to pay to go in, but there'd always be a band on there. Have you got any thoughts about that? I mean, would you like to do something like that at the Soundhouse or not?
I mean, sure, free shows are great, and if everybody could turn a profit in some sense for it, then that's fantastic. But I think if you look back over the past, let's say, 10 years, maybe 6 years, the price of a show they started going down to £2 entry, £3 entry and stuff. And I think that was out of desperation to pull in people, and it wasn't so much of we've already got 200 people wanting to come to this show, so we're going to give them a good deal. It was more of we need out of desperation to bring people in. Now, I don't think that's necessarily a good thing on a whole when it comes to art. I don't think that you should water it down like that and kind of oversaturate it. I think if everybody held their own and said, no, £5 is a good minimum, and £5 is it covers costs and stuff like that. In an ideal world, we'd be able to do 3 shows and the bands would still get paid. That's the left and that's the right. I don't know Pi Bar's finances or how they ran things. I'm sure the bands did get paid or something, because I'm sure the bands wouldn't play there if they weren't happy with what they were getting as a reward. I think it's okay to do a free show every now and then. I think it's great.
Yeah, I think you're right. If you charge too little, then you're devaluing it, and people think, oh, that's probably not very good because it's so cheap, so I'll go somewhere else. Just one other thing before we have a little musical break. So we're going to speak a little bit about the lockdown a bit more after the break and what society might be like afterwards. But during the lockdown at the moment, now, most of the bands I've been speaking to are doing live streams and stuff. Are you getting up to anything musically at the moment?
Personally,
not too personal.
I'm writing a lot. I guess I'm writing a lot of poetry at the moment. I'm writing a lot of words. I'm picking up the guitar, and 2 days ago I bought myself an interface and a recording microphone for vocals. So I am forcing myself to finally write and track the things that I don't think, since Linear I never performed live and I never recorded and I never put out music, but I always wrote, whether it was like, just for like an hour in the morning or whatever. Whenever the moment hit me, I'd write or play music, and then I just wouldn't record it because I kind of see it as like a passing moment of emotion. So I didn't want to have it there and not use it, kind of thing. I don't know, I have a really weird view on creativity when it comes to myself. But yeah, I definitely am looking forward to performing live again and recording again and making music again.
Okay, so it might just start off as Jack Franklin solo, or might it be with a band then, do you think?
I mean, I'd like it to be with a band, but I think it'll be Jack Franklin solo. Yeah. Just like my really pretty minimalistic songs. Like I'm not a musical genius. I'm better at writing and singing, I think.
Okay, so that lends itself then to live streaming. So I presume you'll be doing like some live streaming shortly, will you?
Maybe.
Right, excellent. You heard it here first. I'll look forward to that, Jack. I really will. Let's have a little musical break now. So, let's play a song. You chose this song, so if you'd like to tell us a little bit as to why you chose it, and if you'd like to introduce it for us.
I chose. I chose "Chew Me Up" by Border because I think it's got like a kind of almost retro kind of vibes to it. I really enjoy the energy it puts out. It's got a bit of a bite to it as well, a bit of a bite. So yeah, I like to put it on when I wake up in the morning and just drink coffee and just stare endlessly into the garden. And then by the time the track's done and I finish my coffee, I'm like, cool, let's start the day, man. Let's get at it. So yeah, it gives me a bit of a boost, a bit of a pep. And it's a banger. They're a great band live as well. So
they are. I've seen them many times. Okay, brilliant. So here's "Chew Me Up" by Border. that was Chew Me Up by Border. And welcome back. I've still got Jack Franklin on the other end of the phone. So, Jack, do you generally remain quite optimistic then about our music scene after lockdown?
I do. I do stay optimistic in the sense that something like music and the want for music and the need for music never dies in the people. It never dies, and it'll, it's sorely missed by many, I'm sure.
It is.
And off the back of it, the silver lining is sometimes when you're away from something and you haven't had it for a while, when it's gone, you appreciate it, right? So, the idea of a live show might excite people that before who didn't go to live shows would be like, oh man, a live gig, I haven't been to one in months, and they could actually, it would be 5 months or something like that. So when it does open, hopefully there'll be a resurgence.
That's it.
It'll be a kick boost, and it'll be a great, I don't know, week, month, year, who knows? Either way, it's something to look forward to, and it'll be back with a bang, like a firework, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right there. I think it will be back with a bang. But I suppose the thing is, obviously, even if we do have a 1 metre rule, we'll still have to restrict the amount of people that go into any venue at any point of time. So I don't know if we'll have some sort of waiting list or something. Perhaps might have to book ahead for the next few weeks.
Take into account as well, off the back of those words, the amount of artists that should have been touring in this period of time that haven't had that opportunity, and the amount of artists that have been writing during this period.
That's true.
So hopefully there'll be a big resurgence of music and musicians. So, it'll be, I assume, I'm swaying that way. I'm definitely feeling that there'll be, when the venues finally do start getting a bit more clarity on opening and live performances, there should be a lot of art and musicians and acts ready to perform, which is great. It's awesome.
Absolutely, it'll be absolutely fantastic. Good, so can't wait for that. Now, you do a lot of stuff at the Sound House. I see they've been doing their fundraiser. How's that been going, Frank?
It's been going good.
I call you Frank sometimes, and Jack sometimes. It's because
Jack Franklin. You can take from that what you want. I don't mind. I actually do have many people call me Frank. So
that's cool. All right. Anyway, so how's the fundraiser doing, Jack?
It's good. It's good. It's getting there. We're nearly at our target now. I think we're on just over 70% at the moment, which is great. And just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's donated and supported so far. It means a hell of a lot to us in a time where we have no clarity, and it's been a rough road. We're in one of the most critical and fragile situations that I think we will ever be in.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of businesses are, but the venues especially here because of the nature of the virus, but yeah, with the support from the people so far, it's been excellent, and we've got faith that we'll be able to hit the 10k mark by the end of August, which gives us that leeway, gives us that room for possible scenarios to go wrong, which they are doing at the moment. We have no answers at the moment.
No, so you'll probably be operating under capacity for a bit, so it'll help cushion that blow.
There's no clarity to it at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's great, and obviously it's currently June the 15th, which means you have the rest of the month to donate £20, and you get yourself a free T-shirt, and that T-shirt is I
saw that. Brilliant.
Yeah, I thought it was a nice gesture. It's limited edition. You're never going to get the opportunity to do that again, and what you get is you get a T-shirt with 10% off your drinks when the venue opens again.
Nice.
For life. Forever. You'll always get 10% off your drinks if you've got that T-shirt on.
Excellent.
Or if you've just got it with you.
Okay, so that's all organised by the Music Venues Trust, is that correct? They were sort of running the crowdfunding thing?
Yes, hashtag Save Our Venues.
Yeah, brilliant. They're obviously pretty important to local music scene at the moment, aren't they? They're doing a great job, I think, the Music Venues Trust.
Yeah, they're imperative. At the moment, they are our only source and avenue of official news and guidance from the government. They're always on the ball. We've got certain ways of communication on social media outlets and email chains and stuff, and they're always keeping us updated and abreast, and they've been working solidly, like very hard over the past like 3 months, but particularly over the past 2 to 3 weeks, because these are the changing times, so they're really trying to find the best way to keep us relevant, keep us in the crosshairs for government guidance and support. So big up the music venues.
Absolutely. And by the way, to anybody who's listening, you can get all the links to all the fundraisers, to all the local venues on Music in Leicester's front page. They're all there, along with a link to the Music Venues Trust. So, Jack, just one other thing now. Now, tell me about this Discord database you've been setting up.
The Discord.
Yeah.
So originally it started as, for me, like a pocketbook. I saw it as like a digital notepad for myself, and I started putting in all of the information that I knew, all of the bands by genre, all of the graphic designers and photographers and journalists and sound engineers, and it goes on and on. Everything you could need from a live performance point of view in Leicester, as a promoter, as a musician, as anybody in any of these sectors of the creative industry. And then I realised that it could be something really, really useful on a bigger scale if everybody wanted to access it. If people are accessing it, then they can add to it. So the plan was, and I did not foresee this quarantine going on as long as it has. I was optimistic, now I'm not so much. But yeah, the plan was, when things go back to reality, I'd be able to say, if I meet somebody or a band or just having a drink in a venue at the Cookie or the Shed or the Sound House, and somebody says to me, oh yeah, I do photography for bands, and they show me their portfolio, like they often do. I meet all sorts of people from all sorts of sectors, and it's, sometimes I get their business card or whatever, but sometimes I don't remember, or they just go, there's so many people. Yeah. So with this, you can add it. I can put it in my Discord from my phone in like a second, and with that link, I can see their portfolio, and it's like an ever-growing active database of information with all links that it's so easy to access and use, and it's away from the mess that is Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. There's no competition. It is simply like a nice and easy social forum, which is, nice and useful if you saw a band live, but for some reason you can't find their Facebook. And this is one thing I will say from a promoter's point of view. I've been sourcing these bands on my own, like so far. I'm not going to use any bands for an example, but say if I go on their Facebook, and then from their Facebook, what's the best avenue? Where's the link to your music? Right, should be under the About section, or it should be made quite potent. You are a band at the end of the day, so you want your music to be at the forefront of that Facebook link, correct?
Yeah.
So you follow that, and most of the time it will take you to a Bandcamp, and sometimes the Bandcamp doesn't have the links listed to the Spotify, so I have to go and then find it on my own TV. So these are the things that need consolidating, and it will make life so much more fluid for people wanting to listen to bands' music, and bands just aren't aware of that. Maybe that's what a manager's job is, I guess. I don't know. But with the Discord, you can't go wrong. Like, I have made sure that it is the simplest, the most easy way to click. Bang, there's their official Facebook or preferred social media out there, and bang, there's their official selection of music outlets.
And I guess it's administered by you, so you'll make sure all the correct information goes in there in the first place.
Yeah, I've got some great people helping me on admins, like Jared from Crowded Music and Greta and others, and they're kind of adding in and bringing things to me. But yeah, that's the main thing here. It's not going to be an advertising platform. It's not going to be used to sell anything or advert for shows or gigs or anything. Not at the moment, and there'll be select channels for that, but out of the way, because there's a difference between finding information that you want to find and being told and shown information that you don't necessarily go looking for. And that is the problem with Facebook.
Okay then, Jack. Well, on that note, we'll have to wind our little chat to an end. But that's all really, really good stuff. So well done thinking about that Discord database. Just got to make sure that everybody spreads the word. I'll be telling all bands about it, and make sure it just gets populated nicely.
Yeah, it's one of those things that over time it will grow, and before you know it, it will be like, oh wow, this has grown into something great. There's no rush, and it's chill. It's
Absolutely. Okay then, Jack. Well, we'll play you out now with a little song that you've chosen from a lovely band, Gallows High, who I shall be interviewing after the break. So if you'd like to tell us why you chose this song, and tell us and introduce it for us.
Yeah, no problem. I chose Gallows High simply because they are a great band, but also I thought a personal connection with me as a live performer, Jake Felsted, who was one of the lead guitarists in this band. He was the first person I ever performed live on stage with when I was 14 back at high school.
Wow.
And we did Miserloo together, and I remember thinking that he was probably the best guitarist I'd ever seen and ever known at the time. He probably still is definitely up there.
It was pretty
fantastic
wicked
memory for me, and probably one of the main reasons I continue to do live music. He was a bit of an inspiration as a guitarist goes. And then all these many years later, he's in a band called Gallows High, who are fantastic, with a lot of my other friends as well. Shout out Josh Chenery on the drums. So yeah, they're a great band. Give them a listen, man.
Excellent. So here's Pills from Gallows High. That was Pills from Gallows High, and as if by magic, I happen to have Josh and Emma from the lovely, lovely band Gallows High. Good morning, Josh and Emma. How are you both?
Yeah, we're all right, mate. Thanks for having us on.
Excellent.
Very good, thanks.
Thanks for being here, and thanks for joining me in my little podcast. Now, Emma and Josh. Now, you're both singer and drummer in one of Leicester's premier hard rock bands, Gallows High. What's it like being in one of Leicester's finest hard rock outfits?
I'll take this one, Emma.
Go for it.
Well, at the moment, it's the same as everyone else at the moment. Not much, but we are definitely looking forward to getting back and making some noise and seeing everybody.
Yeah.
The next one we've got is October, Aeonia Fest.
Oh,
So
crikey!
we're just hoping things are back to normal by then, because we're definitely missing the ruckus of it all anyway.
But at the beginning of the year, you were quite busy doing stuff, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, we've kind of been busy during lockdown, kind of internally within the band.
Oh, right.
Our bassist, Mike, he's had his first child. We're working on a new single, Speak of the Devil.
Oh, nice.
But again, it's not five of us sat in a studio, so something that would just be a quick conversation is, sometimes pulled out over days
Takes a lot
because,
longer.
work and waiting for replies to messages and stuff like that. So it's
Okay.
a bit tricky.
All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about the lockdown a bit later. Emma, when I see you on stage, I've seen you a few times now. It's great. You seem to have oodles of confidence. Are you a very confident person, or is it a role that you play when you're on stage?
Well, I'm glad you said that. I don't know that I would necessarily say I was that confident. I think when I'm singing, I'm more confident.
Yeah.
I get some of the songs that I write as well. It's quite easy to play a role within the song.
Right.
It's more like the actually engaging with the crowd within the song. It's more the bits in between the song. I'm less confident, but I'm definitely working on that, and I'm a lot more improved than I was before when I started.
Right. Yeah, I suppose if somebody's having problems restringing their guitars, I suppose you've got to keep some jokes going on.
Think of something funny to say in the heat of the moment.
Excellent. Josh, over to you. Now, with my photographer's hat on, I've noticed there don't seem to be any action photographs of you being the drummer. Does that bother you at all?
No, not really. You kind of accept that being behind the wall of cymbals, and especially if you have kind of a smaller stage, you do have four fine individuals in front of you.
That's it.
Soaking up the limelight. So it's
you can't even see you.
It's a perk of the job, Kev. As long as you, as long as you keep in time and no one's turning around giving you daggers, then you're doing all right, mate.
How long have you been around now as a band?
About 3 years since I've been with you, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it's about
maybe
3
4.
years since we've had this line-up, but it's about 5 years since kind of me and Jake and a guy called Stu.
Crikey.
And then Matt came along, and we've had a few changes over the years, but we're definitely happy with the lineup we have now. Everyone brings something, and we all get along.
Right.
So it's definitely.
Yeah, you haven't been around that long then. You it feels like you're a much more experienced band. I must admit, you performed in the competition Metal to the Masses, didn't you? What was it, last year or no, it was the year before. I don't think it was on
We've
last
done
year.
it about the last 3 years, I think.
Right.
Yeah, when it was on, because obviously it wasn't on. Was it this year or?
No,
It was on this year, was it?
The last 3 years it was on. We have performed and done a bit better each time. So
I was going to say, how do you feel? Did you progress as a band during that? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as part of the competition, we got further every time. I think that pulled us closer together. We all fought for it. We all wanted to shoot and do better than we did the year before.
Yeah, because I was looking at our gig reviews in Music in Leicester, and right at the beginning, you did seem like a completely different band at the end. So I think that probably caused you to accelerate your progression, really, which is great. Let's have a little musical break at the moment, and then we'll have a nice little chat afterwards. So let's play one of your songs, Dead of the Night. One of you, would you like to tell me a little bit about Dead of the Night and introduce it for us, please?
I'll pass this one on to Emma as she wrote it.
Okie dokie, Emma.
Sounds a bit old now, but Dead of the Night was inspired by Game of Thrones. I think we were all kind of into watching it at the time. It's about, wolves and kings and dead things, all that sort of stuff. Sword fighting.
Nice.
Sounds a bit old now, but yeah, this is Dead of the Night. This is by Gallows High.
That was Dead of the Night by Gallows High, and I'm still here with Emma and Josh from Gallows High on the other end of the internet. Hi both, are you still there?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Excellent. So you've only been in the music scene in Leicester 3 or 5 years. What do you think of it so far? What's your impression of the hard rock music scene in Leicester at the moment? Not at the moment, say at the beginning of the year.
It's...
Is it a good thing?
Leicester is not known for, having the biggest slice of cake when it comes to the overall music scene. It's not, like you say, Manchester or London or whatever. And but I think there's definitely some great bands in Leicester, and you know, sometimes you do have to go to, you know, Nottingham and Birmingham to find the bigger gigs, but there's definitely some diamonds in the rough that gets put on in Leicester, and, you know, some great individuals. There's you know, bands doing big things. If you look, you'll find some great things in Leicester, I think.
All right, so after the lockdown then, how do you see the scene being then?
I'm hoping it's just going to come back with a bang.
Mm.
We've all had time to work on new stuff, to do some recording, writing, whatever other musicians have been able to do during this time. I'm hoping when we are able to play gigs again, for all this time that the patrons, everyone's missed as well, everyone's going to be like, I really want to go to a gig.
Yeah.
So there's going to be loads of gigs, loads of people want to go, so hopefully it's going to be bigger and better than it was before.
That's it. A lot of pent-up demand, I think, hopefully.
That's what I'm hoping on, yeah.
Well, I think there probably will, because, I mean, like, the shops opened yesterday, didn't it? Non-essential shops.
Exactly.
And the town...
everyone's gone down Primark to get their, like, £2 stocks or whatever.
that's it. And they had to queue up, since about 3 in the morning for it as well, didn't they?
Something stupid like that, yeah.
So I'm kind of thinking the same. I mean, we were just saying with Download, having watched Download last weekend, as I say, has made me really want to buy my tickets for next year. Now I want to get on it, because that's really sort of made me want to go again. So hopefully people will be like that towards live music. So perhaps they might have to, I was thinking, because of obviously we're going to have to practice social distancing in the venues, then the venues will have reduced capacity. So I wonder if we might have to book ahead. They might have to do some sort of booking system. So if Gallows High are playing on July the 25th, I might have to get my ticket now, sort of thing, maybe. What do you reckon to that?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Kev, because normally it's my birthday at the end of July, so normally we do play. And, you know, you sit at home, you think, oh, well, I want to do something, and then you think, oh, you know, Soundhouse Garden, you know, you can, you know, perhaps get tables and there's an outside stage, and then it's like,
that's true.
Oh, that's never going to get the go-ahead, and shall I just, you know, play on a field, but no, we'll end up, the police will come and just sort of...
Now, I've got a question for you, Emma. Right. A lot of my female virtual friends on Facebook who are in bands, they often complain about sexism in the industry. Have you experienced any of that, being in Gallows High?
Personally, no. I've never experienced anything like that. There's a lot of talk going around and seeing online and stuff where what you say other females are saying that there is some, but personally, I've never experienced it. I think we don't like necessarily being seen as a female-fronted band. We just want to be seen as a band.
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
Any different to whether it shouldn't really matter whether it's a man or a woman singing. It depends on personal preference, I suppose, what someone likes to listen to. I suppose I listen to a lot more female-fronted stuff because that's basically what I'm singing along to, maybe.
Yeah.
But no, nothing negative from me at all.
So you've been telling me you've been writing some stuff and you've got a new single to release during lockdown, is that right?
Yeah, like I said, we've been working on probably our most popular song, Speak of the Devil, for a while. Luckily we managed to get in and record drums and basically all the parts to do it. Mike, our bassist, does you know, a lot of our production and stuff, but it's just unfortunate that obviously we are separated and waiting on different messages. I think there's a new solo in it and we've replaced the old one, and we're not too sure if we want that one, and it's you know, it's normally these things that take about 5 minutes to resolve, but because we're all doing our own thing, it's an ongoing, but hopefully we'll have that done soon. We can get our music video done for Speak of the Devil, and we can crack on business as usual with it.
Excellent. So hopefully, by the end of the year-ish, probably?
Definitely.
Yeah. And then everybody can buy it for Christmas presents and all the rest of that. And you can do a nice Christmas gig as well somewhere.
Definitely.
Christmas, Halloween. Halloween's normally a good one to do a gig for.
That's true.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, brilliant. Yes, so, and have you got any other plans for the future?
Hopefully we'll be able to get back practicing next month. We haven't seen each other for a long time, so that would be nice. We can get back onto the swing of things, get some new songs written and out there as well.
Yeah.
Get some more gigs booked, hopefully, when we can.
Good. They'll have to allow.
Hesitant to book anything in, but if you are listening and you're planning anything and you want us, please get in touch.
And how do people get in touch with you?
Mainly Facebook would be our main link, I suppose, but we've got a website. You can get us on Instagram, or if you know any of us personally, just drop us a text or whatever, and just let us know, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Okay, and on Facebook you're just Gallows High, is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah, excellent, easy to find. Okay then, well thank you very much Emma and Josh for chatting with me in the little podcast today. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, and I hope to see you after the lockdown.
You're very welcome, thank you.
Thank you very much.